Welcome back to Drive Next, the channel where passion meets performance and every ride tells a story. Today, we're diving into something truly special, a machine that blends legacy, craftsmanship, and modernity with a charm that's impossible to ignore. We're talking about the 2026 Royal Enfield 350, a motorcycle that carries the soul of the past and the technology of the future. Whether you're a seasoned rider, a weekend explorer, or someone who just loves the feeling of the wind on your face, this bike promises to stir your emotions in more ways than one. So, gear up, sit tight, and let's take this journey together as we uncover every detail of the all-new Royal Enfield 350. At first glance, the 2026 Royal Enfield 350 carries forward the timeless silhouette that has made the brand iconic for decades. The moment you set your eyes on it, you recognize that classic teardrop fuel tank, the clean lines, and the solid stance that screams confidence. But the closer you look, the more you realize this isn't just a nostalgia trip. Royal Enfield has reimagined the design with subtle refinements that elevate it into modern territory without losing its old-school soul. The tank now has slightly sharper edges that catch the light just right. The new paint finishes are deeper and more lustrous, and the badging feels premium, not just printed, but sculpted, as if carved from heritage itself. As we move to the front, the bike immediately demands attention. The round LED headlamp now sits elegantly within a brushed metal casing, giving it a perfect mix of vintage and futuristic appeal. The lighting signature has been redesigned to a crisp white halo running around the edge with a focused projector beam at the center. It's a nod to tradition wrapped in today's technology. The front fender, slightly shorter and more angular than before, adds a touch of sportiness, while the 19-inch front wheel retains the classic spoke design but is now wrapped in tubeless tires, a welcome upgrade for practicality and reliability. The telescopic front forks are thicker, with improved damping, and that gives the ride a noticeably more composed feel even over rough patches. When you slide your gaze to the side profile, the proportions strike a perfect balance between muscular and minimalist. The long, sculpted fuel tank flows smoothly into the single-piece seat, which now has improved cushioning and contouring for long rides. The new side panels blend seamlessly into the frame, maintaining the clean, uncluttered look Royal Enfield is known for. The exhaust system too has evolved, and the 2026 version features a blacked-out chrome finish with a slightly upswept design that enhances the bike's dynamic character. Every inch feels considered, designed not just to look good but to feel right. The airbox cover bears a subtle 350 embossing, a quiet reminder of the engine's identity without shouting for attention. Move towards the rear, and the bike's simplicity continues to impress. The tail section has been neatly trimmed, featuring a compact LED tail light with integrated indicators, giving it a fresh, modern edge while staying true to the brand's clean aesthetic. The rear fender is slightly shorter and hugs the tire more tightly, giving the bike a planted look. The twin shock absorbers now come with adjustable preload settings, finished in black and silver tones that look both rugged and refined. The rear wheel, again spoked and wrapped in a tubeless tire, completes the balanced stance that makes this motorcycle look grounded, solid, and ready to hit the open road. Stepping closer, let's talk about the interior of this experience at the cockpit. The 2026 model introduces a semi-digital instrument cluster that blends the analog charm of a traditional speedometer with the convenience of modern information display. On the left, you still have that familiar analog dial that sweeps elegantly as you start the engine, while on the right sits a crisp digital panel showing fuel level, gear position, trip meter, and a small digital clock. Royal Enfield has also integrated Bluetooth connectivity through their Tripper navigation system, allowing riders to view turn-by-turn directions right on the screen. It's minimalist, functional, and doesn't feel cluttered or overly touchy. It's the kind of modern feature that fits naturally into the bike's personality rather than feeling forced. The switch gear has been updated as well. The metallic rotary switches introduced in recent models make a return here, feeling tactile and premium to operate. The handlebar is slightly wider and positioned to offer an upright, relaxed riding posture that reduces fatigue over long distances. Both clutch and brake levers are adjustable, a small but much appreciated detail. The grips are softer, the mirrors are more stable even at higher speeds, and every touchpoint feels like it's been improved through thoughtful refinement rather than a complete overhaul. Now, let's fire it up. The moment you press the start button, the 349cc single-cylinder engine comes to life with that unmistakable thump. But it's not the rough, shaky thump of the old days. It's smoother, deeper, more refined. Royal Enfield has worked hard on this new generation of engines, and it shows. The engine delivers around 20 horsepower and 27 Nm of torque. But the numbers only tell half the story. What truly stands out is the delivery. The torque is linear and accessible right from the low end, making city rides effortless and highway cruising relaxed. The throttle response feels more direct, and the gear shifts through the 5-speed gearbox are buttery smooth, thanks to a new slip-and-assist clutch system. Whether you're crawling through traffic or cruising at 90 km/h, the engine feels composed, confident, and never stressed. On the road, the bike shines with balance and poise. The new double cradle frame gives it improved rigidity, which translates to better cornering stability. The weight distribution feels natural, and the suspension setup, a telescopic forks at the front and twin shocks at the rear, has been tuned to offer a perfect mix of comfort and control. You can glide over potholes without a jarring thud, and at the same time, the bike holds its line beautifully through bends. The braking system includes a 300mm front disc and a 270mm rear disc, both equipped with dual-channel ABS, offering confidence and reassurance even under hard braking. There's a noticeable improvement in feedback and bite, and the overall braking feel is progressive, something that earlier models slightly lacked. In terms of performance, this isn't a bike that's about outright speed, it's about experience. It's about the way the engine pulses beneath you, the way the wind hits your chest, and the connection you feel every time you roll on the throttle. It's the kind of motorcycle that makes even short rides memorable. On highways, it feels stable and unhurried, happily cruising between 80 and 100 km/h with minimal vibrations. The exhaust note has a deeper, throatier character, refined yet soulful, adding to that emotional connection riders have always cherished. Fuel efficiency has seen a slight bump as well, with real-world mileage figures hovering around 36 to 40 km/L depending on riding style. The 13-liter fuel tank gives it a practical range for touring, making it just as suitable for long weekend rides as it is for daily commutes. Maintenance intervals have been extended, and Royal Enfield's service network has grown even stronger, which means ownership should be smoother and more affordable in the long run. As for pricing, the 2026 Royal Enfield 350 lineup comes in several variants, say from the base classic 350 to the more premium chrome and stealth trims. Prices start around 2.05 lakh rupees ex-showroom for the standard variant and go up to roughly 2.45 lakh for the top model, depending on color and accessories. Considering the craftsmanship, features, and refinement on offer, the value proposition feels just right. It's not trying to be the cheapest bike in its class A, it's trying to be the most soulful. And that's something you can't put a simple price tag on. What makes this motorcycle truly special is that it bridges generations. It's as appealing to a young rider looking for character as it is to someone who has been riding Royal Enfields for decades. It's familiar yet new, classic yet current, and that's a difficult balance to achieve. Whether parked in your driveway or gliding down a misty highway at sunrise, the 2026 Royal Enfield 350 commands presence. It's a bike that doesn't shout, it speaks, in a deep, confident voice that tells you it knows where it came from and where it's going. As the sun sets and the engine cools down, you can't help but feel that this motorcycle isn't just a machine. It's an experience, a one built on heritage, refined by time, and perfected by passion. It's not trying to compete with performance-oriented rivals or futuristic designs, it's carving its own path, one that celebrates simplicity, craftsmanship, and emotion. The 2026 Royal Enfield 350 isn't here to impress everyone, it's here to connect with those who understand what riding truly means. So, would we recommend it? Absolutely. If you're someone who values the journey as much as the destination, if you appreciate a motorcycle that speaks through feel rather than flash, this one deserves a spot in your garage. It's more refined, more reliable, and more rewarding than ever before. That's our in-depth review of the 2026 Royal Enfield 350. Let us know in the comments what you think about this evolution of an icon. Does it capture your heart the way the old ones did, or do you miss the rawness of the past? Either way, it's clear that Royal Enfield has built something that stays true to its roots while embracing the future. Thank you for watching Drive Next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your riding buddies, and subscribe for more in-depth car and bike reviews. Until next time, keep your engines warm, your helmets strapped, and your spirit free. This is Drive Next Day signing off.